The folks you're going to hear from tonight came to town with hopes and dreams, unless they already lived here. I don't even know how many folks were already here. But they came to town with hopes and dreams, and what they're going to do tonight is share with you their stories, so how they found strength in others, how they found strength in the stories of the trailblazers before them, and they're going to share their experiences. So one piece of advice tonight: listen, if you can't relate to the story, you can't relate to the vertical that this particular speaker is in, doesn't matter. If you're going through something, chances are one of these women have experienced. So listen in there for the inspiration, the similarities to what you're experiencing, because they're full of inspiration, they're full of experience, and they're here tonight to share that with you. So, I'm done talking. That means it's time for that inspiration from some badass women. Are you ready? All right, so I'm a proponent. There's a bunch of people in this room that are proponents of owning their own story. So yes, I have pink hair. It was supposed to be red, damn it. It's pink. So I met this woman tonight. We've never met before, and I was so excited because you're going to hear a recurring theme. Wild hair don't care. She's going to show you on her own, but I fell in love immediately. So please welcome Jessie Scott with WMOT.
Hey guys, how you doing? It's great to see you all. Okay, so the right key is takes me there. WMOT Roots Radio. I'm the program director. I'm so happy to be here tonight, actually, at City Winery. We are a media partner, and as you wander around looking at the screens of the bands and folks that are coming to play, you'll see our logo come up there. So what was it that Ted Baxter used to say on the Mary Tyler Moore Show? It all started in a 5,000-watt radio station in Fresno, California. Well, for me, actually, I walked into ABC in 1971. I had never been on the radio, and I wanted to be on the radio. I wanted to play music on the radio. I didn't have any other skill sets. I just walked in. I said, give me a job. And much to my surprise, they did. Then I had to learn it. I actually got sent to Pittsburgh to the ABC-owned and operated radio station WDVE to do Afternoon Drive. Now, I don't know how much you know about radio, and in the past, pretty much women were relegated to overnight, to evenings, not Afternoon Drive. I'm back on Afternoon Drive after 46 years, but that's another story. So I had to get good. I had to get good fast, and that means immersing yourself in it and learning it and loving it and understanding it. And after 5 years in Pittsburgh, I wound up going back to my home, which is New York City, and going to work for Ed Solomon, doing country radio in New York City, which of course sounds like an oxymoron, but we rocked. We were on the AM dial. We cumed. That means how many people are listening to you on a weekly basis. 2 million people a week listen to this radio station. And I don't think that marker has been met even through all these years. So in 1975, I'm doing country radio in New York. Loretta Lynn is calling. She's taping Crisco commercials down on 57th Street. And she's calling the station, and Dolly came by, and we used to make people be guest DJs, and we'd walk them through it. I loved country. It was really an egalitarian, much more than the rock world was, which just sort of, they walked on water, and everybody that was in support were kind of, not walking on the same water as they were. But at country, everybody was friends. You were part of the family. You were invited on the bus. You got invited to people's houses, and I really loved it. I was at WHN for 6 years doing country radio in New York City. Fairly early on, though, in 1976, I wound up having Ed come over my house, and I'm going to press another slide here. He looked through my albums, and he pulled out the Goose Creek Symphony and the Flying Burrito Brothers. That's the Doobie Brothers. And me in the middle. So we brought all this music into the radio station, and we carted it up, and I started playing what was then called progressive country in 1976, a couple times an hour in New York, in between the Tanya Tucker and the Glenn Campbell and the Oak Ridge Boys. And I knew then that it was its own format, that this country rock thing had some merit unto itself. It took me 25 years to see that dream realized, and a lot of different cities, and being able to pack up and move somewhere else. I wound up going to WNBC after WHN and working with Stern and Imus. I call it kind of the battle of the radio titans. We had Saturday Night Live upstairs. We had the Today Show downstairs. The building could have spun up off its axis and, ascended into the heavens. Those were the days. But after 4 years there, I decided to go to LA, and I really wanted to have a kid, and I really wanted to change my life. And I had hung out, another picture, with the Rolling Stones in 1984 in New York. And Keith was an incredible inspiration. Getting to talk music with somebody who you really admire, who really embodies, just had this great respect for American music. Even before we had respect for American music, they were culling and mining the great R&B, the great country music, and synthesizing it and giving it back to us. So after my son Trevor was born, I decided that I needed to be part of the Brain Trust and to come back to radio, not just being a voice in the night, where I really was able to make difference and make the decisions that would make the path happen. So I got to do all of that, hit the ground in Florida as operations manager for the first time, and then came back, and first time actually that I was in Nashville was 1997 to become the program director of Lightning 100. While we were in the midst of building the Phoenix, which was to launch as the Americana station, but I parted company before that happened and went to work at Gavin as the Americana editor at Gavin, the third one, and then Gavin closed down. While I was at Gavin, I got headhunted to go to XM and put a channel on the air. I was the first female program director that they hired to do a music channel. And I got to launch a national Americana channel. Thank you. I have more pictures in here, along with launching the Americana Music Association, which actually happened during South by 1 year. We went into a back room, and a bunch of operatives, all of whom never joined anything in their lives, kind of got together and decided that it was time to make something happen. So we launched the Americana Music Association, and I've been an ongoing board member for its entire history. And I'm really, really proud of the work that we've done to shine a light on this genre, which really has such a huge tent that encompasses the rock and roll of, J.D. McPherson, and the R&B of St. Paul and the Broken Bones, and the beautiful country of Alison Krauss. So many people get to have their music played on that platform and on my new radio station, which we'll get to in a minute. After XM, I kind of went on an odyssey and started a video production company called Music Fog. And so after my megaphone got taken away in the merger, I still wanted to have an opportunity to shine a light on the artists that I love. And so my little video platform does about 1 million views a month on about 1,000 videos that we have up there. And it's just a great resource for, somebody going down the rabbit hole and finding, let's say, Chris Knight, and looking at the other videos that, Sturgill Simpson or Paul Thorne. Anyway, it's a way of keeping yourself alive when you get the opportunity. If somebody doesn't say yes to you and give you a job, there's always ways to get out there and do it yourself. I have a couple of other things that I want to show you that are just like kind of comparison pieces, because this was so the beginning and has been consistent for my life. This was taken at the bitter end in 1979. That's Joe Ely, that's me in the middle. And here's a picture of Joe and me in Austin just a couple of years ago. And this is on stage at the Lone Star Cafe with Delbert McClinton, getting ready for a WHM broadcast in 1978. And that's Delbert and me on stage at Acme just a couple of months ago, broadcasting live for WMOT. So I got here in a kind of really random and bizarre, but hopeful and trusting the divine way. and that is that I just decided that I needed to be back in Nashville because this, I believe, is where the music business is reinventing the future. And this is where the movers and shakers are, and this is where my tribe is. And I just wanted to be here. So, like so many people before me, I packed my car. I didn't have a guitar to throw in the back of it. It would have made it a little more authentic, but I packed my car at Christmas a year ago, and I just drove here from New York. And I started a new life, and I'm so thankful to have another chapter. That included in July launching, because again I have chart experience, a monitored radio airplay chart for the Texas Red Dirt genre through the auspices of CDX. And then in September it included launching a brand new radio station, which is WMOT, listener supported, NPR, with 100,000 watts, with no corporate overlords dictating what our programming is, and the opportunity to really make a difference in people's lives. That includes the audience, the artists, the people at the radio station, all of our underwriters. And, it's just wonderful to have opportunities like that. And, I can't stress enough that you can't look at the top of the mountain and you can't look over your shoulder, and you just got to be true to your North Star. You got to walk the path every single day. You take one step at a time, and you see where you are, and you see what's possible from there. And that's how you get there. And, it's with gratitude and love. And, I honestly could not have pictured that would be another reality. I mean, you can ask the universe for it. Sometimes it doesn't come your way, and you have to keep going anyway. But this time, coming here, it just was coming home. So I thank you all. Of course, we are listener-supported. We would love your support. We do have a table. I'm not certain where you guys are. Hand raised, John, with some T-shirts and stuff if you want to support us and the music that we play. We so welcome that. This is the launch photo, Ken Paulson, John Walker, and me, September 2nd, as we launch the radio station. Another footnote, there are 44 radio stations in this market. We were 43 when we started. We're 27 now. I have no idea how much time I have left. I'm good? So, yeah, it's really cool. Do you guys have any questions? Or am I done? I'm done. Never mind.
No more. Are we done on the clock?
I don't know.
Turn me on.